Hey, I'm Nick. I assume you read the title, so let's jump right into it. Step one of becoming healthier is to be mindful of what you eat and drink. This is the most important step. If you eat junk, you're going to perform like junk. You're going to feel like junk. You are what you eat. You've probably heard that before. It's kind of true. If you fuel yourself with subadequate fuel, it's like putting diesel into a Camaro. It just doesn't work. The thing to do here is, if you're obese, going and you're aiming for not obese, right? You're trying to lose weight. What I would do is cut out soda. That's step one. Step two, maybe cut out potato chips. Step three, maybe cut out cakes and crepes and pastries and pies, right? Basically cut out the hyperpalatable foods, the foods that are very obesogenic, right? That's a buzzword. These are foods like pasta, spaghetti, okay? Maybe not homemade, I mean, you just gotta be careful. Ice cream, that's a very tasty food. Pizza. So what are common about these three foods that I just mentioned? Well, there's actually three things probably: high fat, high salt, high sugar, or high carbohydrate. Sugar and carbohydrate are essentially the same thing. Unless you want to go deeper and talk about fiber, that's a little different, but we can talk about that in a different video. If you cut out these foods, you're going to have to eat something else, right? So first of all, the thing about these foods is that they're very easy to buy at a restaurant. You know, go to Olive Garden. I'm pretty sure they serve spaghetti. I mean, they're an Italian restaurant, right? Go to Pizza Hut or Papa John's or Domino's. I mean, they're all around town, right? Easy food. It's quick. It's convenient. That's why people buy these things. Sometimes people just don't have time, which is completely understandable. So, however, that's one of the downfalls, is that it's so easy to get fat, really. I mean, because it's easy to buy junk and eat junk. So anyway, as I was saying, now that you cut out those foods, you've got to eat something else, right? So what do you eat? Well, the common bodybuilder wisdom is chicken and rice, right? It'll work because it's not hyper palatable. Chicken breast doesn't taste very good just by itself. Rice doesn't taste very good by itself. These things, they're not hyper palatable, and so it's hard to overeat on them. Now, you could add in vegetables like broccoli, green beans, cauliflower, stuff like that. Now, I'm not very educated on all the vegetables. I'm not very good at cooking vegetables because personally I don't eat vegetables. But I also don't eat significant amounts of carbohydrate either. I'm on what people would call a carnivore diet. The carnivore diet is just something that's worked for me. It's very simple. To me, it's effective. It's easy to cook. I just throw meat in the air fryer, come back in 15 minutes or so, maybe 30, and it's good, tastes good, and it works. I can talk about the physiology and the metabolism behind it and why it does work and why it's not dangerous in a previous video. If you guys want that, just leave a comment below. Personally, I think that would be the healthiest option, but I'm getting sidetracked. The main thing you need to do is cut out the ultra-processed junk food. You will see significant results from just doing that. I promise you. I felt great when I cut out sodas and stuff, and after a while, I didn't miss them. But then you've got to eat something, right? So then you just make food at home, homemade stuff with whole foods. So these are meats that you buy from the store, could be canned. You just got to be careful because sometimes the ingredients can have a bunch of added stuff, right? So you just got to be careful on what you're buying. Whole fruits, vegetables, okay. But again, simplest thing for me and the option I go with is the carnivore diet. Another important thing about eating healthier, I guess this isn't really eating, but it's intake, is what are you drinking? Make sure you're drinking water. And not just a little bit, a lot of it. Dehydration is more common than you might think, especially for those who carbo load or store lots of glycogen, because water is used to store that glycogen. This is the easy part though. You just drink until you're not thirsty anymore. And it helps if you're drinking water, because in soda there's sugar, which again stored as glycogen, which takes that water and kind of makes you more dehydrated, really. There can be electrolyte drinks like Gatorade, which in addition to sugar also has salts in it, which salt and water, they kind of are trying to keep that ion concentration, that ion balance in your cells, and so, you know, that also kind of doesn't really help you there. But yeah, just drink more water. That will help. Number 2, exercise. All right, so this is important, but it's not as important as number 1, because if you don't eat well, even this won't help you. Even exercising won't help you. But if you're eating well, now maybe you can incorporate some workout, right? Okay, so you might say, I don't have enough time. That may very well be true. I understand that you got to basically work like 80 hours a week nowadays to make a living. It's crazy. But still, if you can work out even just 15 to 30 minutes a day, not even a day, like 15 to 30 minutes a week is a good start, right? I mean, at least you're doing something in that week. This can consist of push-ups, body weight stuff. You don't even need all the equipment. You can experience hypertrophy and progressive overload by doing body weight exercises. It is possible. Now, it helps if you have a gym. It helps if you have that special equipment. That definitely helps, because then the increments are visible. They're tangible. I mean, you can really tell the weight difference whenever you're bench pressing 100 pounds versus 200 pounds. It's, yeah, definitely a thing. And you obviously don't go from 100 to 200 in a day, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes maybe years. Maybe, I mean, at most, probably 5 years, at least 3 months if you're abusing steroids. But the increments are important with weightlifting. Now, I'm not really a big fan of cardio. I don't really do cardio, but saying that, I actually kind of do, because I could be wrong, but I looked up cardio, and apparently it's just any activity that gets your heart beating faster than normal. So weightlifting, for me, I guess would be considered cardio, because, I mean, sometimes my heart gets pumping when I'm lifting weights. I mean, if that's the definition of cardio, does that mean watching a horror movie is cardio too? I mean, cardio is just kind of... Well, here's the thing. Okay, sprinting. I like sprinting. I think sprinting is a valid and necessary skill to have. Endurance, I like endurance. I think endurance is a good thing to have. But I just don't do like focused cardio. I don't run on treadmills because I feel like lifting weights is more important. But anyway, why is strength training in the realm of exercise specifically important? You're trying to make your body more resilient, okay? You're strengthening your muscles, you're strengthening your bones. Have you guys ever heard the expression thick thighs save lives or big thighs save lives? Save lives? I've heard that a couple times. But the idea behind that, besides being a goofy adage, is the bigger your thighs, that means you've got more thigh muscle, right? So what does thigh muscle help you do? It helps you stand, it helps you walk. Imagine when you're old, okay? You maybe trip less. Or if you do trip, you maybe you've got some upper body muscle and you're able to catch yourself, or maybe you've got some resilient tendons, resilient bones, and your bones don't shatter when your hands hit the ground, right? Um, and it's the same with your legs. You know, if you're bending over to pick something up, if you're strong enough to do it, you're not going to hurt yourself. It ain't no puzzle, right? Anyway, that's what I think about that. Maybe with exercise, you may also want to incorporate some flexibility and balance exercising as well. Um, Parkour, something like that, you know? I mean, I like parkour. I'd do it more often if I had the time, which I'm starting to get more of now that it's summer, but just something to keep you moving, to keep you active. Climb trees, run around, go to the playground. Who says you're too old for a playground? That's that's dumb. I mean, sure, some people are like, "Oh, that person's too old. They're not a kid. They're why are they playing in there with kids?" I mean, you got to be careful because yeah, if you're playing with kids, that's kind of weird, but no, you are there to exercise. Okay? So yeah, maybe just do your own thing. Don't be weird, right? But yeah, you can do pull-ups on the jungle gym. You can do push-ups on the slide. I mean, I don't know. There's all sorts of things you can think of doing at a playground. Of course, you need to work to get to be able to do that first. You can't really do a pull-up if you weigh 400 pounds. You can't really slide down a slide comfortably if you're 3 feet wide. I mean, it's just not feasible. Number three, this is also a very important one. Sleep. What is good sleep? Well, some people would have said in the past, doctors, 8 hours a day, or right, 8 hours a night. Which, I mean, okay, that's a long time, and sure, 8 hours might be good for some, and yeah, your body does need quite a lot of sleep. I mean, think about the hours of the day, right? There's 24. 8 is a third of that, right? And so that's a lot of sleep out of the day, or that's a lot of hours of the day at least. But the truth is that not everyone's built the same. Some people need less sleep. Some people need more sleep. Um, what it boils down to, in my opinion, and from what I've seen and experienced, is if you are able, just sleep until you naturally wake up. Don't, I mean, okay, it's hard to do if you've got a job, right? You're working a job, you've got a strict schedule, you got to be here at this time, there at that time. But if you can help it, and if you've got the time, and this is why going to bed early is important, don't be staying up till midnight on your phone. Not only is that bad for all the hormones that help you go to sleep, but it's just not a good use of your time. You need that sleep. What I like to do is I try to go to bed at like 8 or 9. It doesn't always happen, you know. Sometimes I'm hanging out with friends or family. But go to bed early, wake up early, and see how long you can sleep. Recently, I found I need like 9 to 12 hours of sleep. Somewhere in that range, that's quite different than 8. And as you can see, I still have bags under my eyes. I don't know if that's genetic. I don't know if that's just because I'm stressing out because I'm in college, or maybe I've got bad sleep. I couldn't tell you, but I've had them since I was a kid. Anyway, get good sleep. That will help you. Eating better, sleeping, and exercising. These are not the only things to being healthier. There's more. If you guys want me to make another video about these things, these extra things, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Please, guys, leave comments. I'd like to hear what you guys think. And that's it. Thanks for watching.